Good morning. It's been a long time since we met, and there were things that I couldn't do because college closed suddenly. So today I'm going to do Latin roots. You have roots as an element of your paper 2 language, which is grammar and composition. And since there's a lot of learning, so I'm going to do roots, and after a week of lectures on roots, then I will take up some of the composition that Divya ma'am has done with you. So now a root, the word root, as all of you know in biology or in botany, that part of the seed that goes down is the root, and that is what holds the plant and supports it, nourishes it, and keeps it upright. So a root word is like that it's a word. A lot of our English has evolved out of Latin and Greek. So we are going to do Latin and Greek roots, and then a few roots from other foreign languages that have come into the language. So chiefly, but Latin and Greek, that is what English is about. So I've tried to make an alphabetical, compile an alphabetical list of roots from my books that I have, different books, and I hope that it will help you. I'm going to upload a PDF for these roots, but today I would like to discuss about 15 roots with you. So if you can get your notebooks out and start writing, make 3 columns on your notebook. The first column, narrow root, because roots are generally 4 or 5 letter words. Then the second column, meaning, and the third broader column, examples. So the first root that we're going to study is aqua, A-C-Q-U, A-C-Q-U, and it means water. You've heard this word aquarium, in the water in which we keep fish, and then you have aquatic creatures like marine creatures, those that live in the sea, on the river, aquatic, and then growing fish in water or pearls, aquaculture. So 3 words are there. At least you keep the word in the root and keep 2 lines for the examples if you don't get them just now. So the second root has 2 forms, all, A-L, and alter, A-L-T-E-R, A-L, all, and A-L-T-E-R, alter, and the meaning of it is another. Now you find it in alien. We are all citizens of the country, and if we find someone from Russia or Bangladesh or Myanmar, we call him an alien. He's not. And of course, when those come from the other worlds, we call them aliens. Then sometimes, thief or a crook, he'll have an alias. An alias is another name that a man takes on. He could be, have a simple name, and then he is Banarsi Lal Dikshit. Okay, great, honorable man. So that's an alias, to keep a false name. Then alternate. Alter is another form of the root, another option. You can come to college either from Badachauraha, or you can also come to college from Phoolbaugh. You can take any route. If you are leaving the college and there's a jam and at Badachauraha, you can turn back and take a Phoolbaugh, exit behind. So alternate, another alternate. And then you have altruism. Altruism means the generosity that you have for other people. You want to help others, so you are altruistic. Then the third root is anima, A-N-I-M-A, A-N-I-M-A, and that stands for breath, soul, spirit, or life. These are the 4 shades of meaning that anima can come from. And then you have animate. It's like we are all animate beings. We have breath and life. And the table and the chair, they are inanimate. Then you have animator. The the person, like a moderator, person in charge of a program, he's called an animator, someone who brings life to the program. Then we voted, or we've all chosen someone without any votes. We've all elected him or selected him. Then we say there's unanimity. We make someone proctor or prefect or class monitor. Unanimity, one heart. Then you have animism. Now a lot of people who haven't left their deep caves and caverns and deep dark forests, who haven't come into the city, they haven't learned even about these religions that are 3,000 years old, or 2,000 or 1,500. They haven't heard about Hinduism or Christianity or Islam or Jainism. They still worship their plants and animals, and they have their own religion. So that is called animism, when they believe in the forms of life that they see. Of course, you'll find some more words like that. I'm trying to give you 3-4 examples just to give you the idea of how it is used. Then the fourth root is an. And an means year. Y-E-A-R, year, Sal, Varsh. So you have the word annual function, an annual event, an annual festival. Diwali is celebrated annually, every year it comes. So ANNUAL, annual. Then wedding anniversaries, and they happen every year. Birthdays happen, and so an anniversary has got a year in it. Then you have per annum. What is your income for the year? Your per annum income. Then something in some companies they would give the pension once a year, some money to the retired employees. So that was called an annuity, ANN. So then you have with BREV, brev, short. And you have this word brevity. Brevity is the soul of wit. Those who got literature, they learn that Francis Bacon is expert, well known for his brevity, to write things short and compact. Then you have the word abbreviation with a brev in the middle of it. Abbreviation is, like Anno Domini is AD, or what is it, PWD, Public Works Department. So we don't say Public Works Department all the time, we just say PWD. So those are abbreviations. Then number 6 is Bene, B-E-N-E. And Bene means good. And you've got lots of words with Bene: benefit, beneficial, benevolent. Volent is work, to do willingly. So someone who's good and kind, wants to be good. Benevolent, someone who does good for someone. Benefactor. And then when there are these, you can have a kind smile called benign smile. And then when they look at biopsies for tumors, then if it is cancerous, it is malignant. But if it is non-cancerous and it is harmless, it is called benign. So B-E-N, good. Then the 7th root has 3 forms. C-E-D-E, seed, comma. C-E-E-D, seed, comma. C-E-S-S. So seed, C-E-D-E, comma. C-E-E-D, seed, comma. C-E-S-S. So there are 3 forms of this root that mean go or movement. Go. So precede. Now C-E-D, precede is, the gunner or so the hosts preceded the chief guest. So they went ahead to welcome him. Proceed. Now you're going to proceed on your journey towards BA Part 2. Exceed. So sometimes you ordered food, but you had more. They gave you more than you expected, so they exceeded your expectations. Then you have the word excess. huh? And success and succeed and recession. So, and you have the word recess also, when a break in the school is called a recess. So, these are some words. Then the eighth one is CENTR. CENTR. And it means center. And then you have this word egocentric, someone who only loves himself. You have eccentric, a bit crazy, weird person. Then you have a centrist. He's not leftist or rightist, he's centrist. And centrifugal. What is it? The movement of a machine in a particular direction. There's centripetal and centrifugal. So these are some center words. Then you have the ninth, root has a COGN oblique GNO. So sometimes there's a GNO, sometimes there's an OGN, and then there's COGN. And both these roots, COGN oblique GNO, they mean no. And you find them in recognize, you know someone. Cognizant, do you know about it? Diagnose, the doctor uses the test to diagnose, to know what is wrong with you. Incognito, you're moving in disguise, you don't want anyone to recognize you. Ignorant, you don't know anything. And cognition, the ability to learn and remember. So there are a lot of words like that. The 10th one is a sad root, CIDE. CIDE, and it means to kill or cut. And all the words are mostly about death. Suicide, homicide. Homicide is killing of man. Fratricide is killing of brother. Uxoricide, is killing of a wife. And genocide is killing of races. And infanticide is killing of children. It's a sad word. Of course, for cut, there's a word incision. Then you have INCIS. Instead of D, you can have S. The 11th word is a good one, CRED. The root is CRED. And the meaning is belief. BELIEVE. And they have so many words with CRED only. Credible. The story is credible. I can believe it. The story is incredible. I cannot believe it. Then you have credentials, all your documents. See, you go to college, you need to show your I card. So, credentials, sometimes as an ambassador comes from Britain, he has to have documents to show this Indian government that, okay, I'm the one who's the governor or the ambassador. And credulous, people who believe easily. Credulous. Credible is worth believing, and credulous, it's not good to be too credulous. You see all the bad news and you think, no, the next is my number, I will die. No, it's unfortunate, it's very sad, but with the media, showing us sometimes even the same clips again and again, we have to be, have a healthy, respect for this virus that is roaming about like this and taking so many lives. Sometimes it may have come home also, it's a sad thing. But we haven't to believe it to the extent that we faint and, we lose hope and we lose heart. Then the 12th root is DORM, dorm, which means to sleep. And you have this word dormitory, a place where a lot of people sleep. And you have dormant, the sleeping volcano is called a dormant volcano. Then you have DOC. Number 13, DOC, the root is DOC, and the meaning is to teach. And then you have, doctrine. Now, doctrine is a very important, principles of faith that you have to believe in them. And indoctrinate it is often used in a negative way, but it means to put in that doctrine into somebody. And doctor, now in India and all over the world, when we do our PhD and we've done a lot of studies, we are called doctor. So I'm Dr. Dorothy Rai. So doctor is a person who teaches Of course, nowadays we often think of doctor as a profession, a medical person, but earlier not only the medical person was called a doctor, he also may be teaching a junior how to be one. So the word doctor also means to teach. Then the 14th root is Dictio, D-I-C-T-I-O, and there's another version of it, D-I-C-E-R-E. So the root is D-I-C-T-I-O, Dictio, or discern, D-I-C-E-R-E, and it has 4 meanings: to speak, to say, to state, and to declare. So speak, say, state, S-T-A-T-E. State is to just, what is it? Now we are going to hear a speech by Honorable Prime Minister. So state, to announce it. Okay, there will be a lockdown. He's going to tell us that, or whatever. Declare also, to announce your beliefs, your hopes, your expectations. So DICT has a lot of, you have Ashoka's edicts on rock, E-D-I-C-T. Then you have predict, the astrologer can predict your future, P-R-E-D-I-C-T. Then you have a dictionary where you have a lot of words in it, it declares the meanings of all those words. Then you have a dictator who makes you do what he wants, he says things, then you have to obey them. Then you have benediction, a blessing. The holy man gave the congregation his benediction, holy blessing. And malediction, the witch uttered a malediction on those who troubled her. Curse. Mal is evil, we learned that somewhere. And diction is words. So to give a bad saying is a malediction, and a good one is a benediction. Then the 15th one is DUC, is the root, oblique DUCT, duct, DUC and DUCT, and it has a meaning, a leading or drawing off, a leading or drawing off. Now, it brings about things, it takes you away. So you have the word abduct, kidnap, it means kidnap, someone abduct the daughter of the chieftain, abduct, A-B-D-U-C-T. Then you have aqueduct, that is, a duct that takes water. Then you have conduct, either you conduct him to the next room or take him to the staff room, conduct him, take him from here to there, conduct. Then you have ductile, making into tubes, metal that can be is ductile. Then you have produce, you make something, create something, build something, grow something. And induce, you can induce someone into a thrall or a trance, or you can induce someone into a coma. So bring about. Now I think I'll do 4 more. Then the 16th root is ego, E-G-O. If you remember your college motto, it is ego sum lux mundi. And ego is I, sum is am, lux is light, and mundi is world. Latin words for that. So I am the light of the world. This is a saying in the Bible that Jesus says. And since that's a college motto, it just means that you and I, all of us, are supposed to become lights of the world. So ego is I. And then you have this egoist, egocentric, I only think about myself. Egoism, only worrying about oneself. Ego trip, okay, you just want to go somewhere where people, praise you. And ego surfing, now this is a new internet word. You look at the net to see what all people are saying. If you're a celebrity and you're busy ego surfing, what people are saying about me, how many photographs are posted about me. Then you come to number 17, E-N-N. N, E-N-N. This also means year. But this E-N-N is always used in the middle of a word. you won't find a word beginning with ENN meaning here. So you have centennial, the 100th anniversary, the centennial celebrations. So ENN. And that is why, because the root is ENN, everywhere you find this ENN, it will be a double N. Biennial, once in 2 years. Biannual, twice a year. BIANN. And BIENN is once in 2 years. Then you have millennium, MILLENN. This is the third millennium, 1000 years. That is, the AD years if we count. It could be the 10th millennium if we go back and see how many thousands of years were there in BC. But otherwise, in the AD or from the time that history records the birth of Christ, they call it AD, and now it is called. It has got a new terminology. But this is the third millennium, the third thousand. 1000 is over, 2000 is over, and now 2001 onwards we are in the third millennium. And then you have decennial every 10 years, DECENNI. Then the 18th root is FID, FID oblique FIDE, and it has two meanings: faithful and trust. Fidelity, faithfulness. Confide, I trust in you. That's why I give you my secrets. I confide. Bona fide. Bona is good. From Ben, there's also bone. So bona is good and fide is faith. Good faith. Bona fide. Then you have infidel, one without faith. Infidel. And affidavit also is a paper in which you show your faithfulness and trust. Then our 19th root is FLECT, flect. FLECT oblique FLEX. FLECT oblique FLEX, and the meaning is to bend. To bend. And you have the first word flexible. If you are flexible, you are willing to bend the rules, your principles a bit, your views, your attitudes. Then you have reflect. The light is reflected. It comes on something and it goes back. Inflect is the sound, modalities and the tone in your voice. And I've written one word that is really used now called genuflect. Earlier in churches, people had to bend down on one knee and bow their heads. That just bowing wasn't enough. Now in India, they have, because in temples we just bow our heads before God. So in churches also we have started that. We just fold our hands and bow. It's a Western custom. But genuflect is just coming down on one knee. And the last one for today is FRACT, fract, or FRAG, and it means break. Broken, like you have fracture. If bone is not cleanly broken into but cracked a bit, we call it a fracture. Then fragile, a glass, or something made of glass is fragile. You can't throw it about, it will break. FRAGILE. Then fragments. If a cup is fallen on the ground, it is broken into fragments, bits. Refract, light, scattered. Light is reflected and light is refracted. Those who have done their physics, they'll understand. And infraction is a breaking of the law. So there's a lot of words to learn, and if you go into the dictionary, and you might find more. And I'd like you just to save place. I haven't given the meanings of these words and the examples, but if you, after writing the examples down, to understand, remember the root, if you copy them down and write the meanings, look up a dictionary. Looking up a dictionary is wonderful work. I've told you in class before that the words that you know and understand and can use are the riches in your pocket. As I told you, that ad, wonderful ad, only Vimal, the man got 80 lakhs for it. That's enough. In those days when he got it, maybe 20, 25 years ago, he could have, bought a forest or a lake or a village for that matter. And even now he could live very comfortably. In the last 25 years his money would have only multiplied. So today maybe you'll get 1 crore for it. Or maybe you want 5 crores. So learn the words. When you learn words, you understand them. When you understand words, you can understand anything that you read. Okay? And that is your greatest achievement from your language class, that you learn to understand anything. Because many things are said, and because we don't understand them, we don't realize how important they are. So whether you have to read a newspaper, you have to read an article, you have to read something on the net, you need to understand what you're reading. Then you can read a novel and enjoy yourself and read a short story. So I'd like you, God has put us back at home in this lockdown, but let us all who are learning language, let us come out on top. Let us revise well. I have 60 Latin roots, so 2 more classes I will give for this. Stay with me, you'll enjoy, you'll understand. If my voice stays in your mind, then when you are thinking of the word, what did ma'am say, and the meaning will come. Sometimes you didn't look carefully and so the meaning won't come because you haven't seen it. But if you have heard it, at least you'll remember the meaning from me. So all the best, happy learning and writing. When we stop writing, now yesterday I wrote 4 sheets like this to get down 60 words for you, looking from all the sources, opening my dictionary to see that I've got good examples, and I'm writing Greek roots for you now. And of course between Latin and Greek roots I'll have a composition break, so I'd like you to learn well. All the best. Thank you.